Alright, let's talk about this thing called the Cartesian Plane, named after a guy called Rene Descartes from a long time ago. Kind of come up with the idea. Hopefully, look, maybe you can remember back from year 7, we had this thing called a number line. And if I just look at this bit here, that's what I've got, haven't I? I've got a number line. It goes that way, and it goes, sorry, that way with positive numbers, this way with negative numbers. So that's not new to us. But what if I took a second number line and rotated it 90 degrees, so they meet sort of perpendicular to each other, and now I've got a second number line. If I go down, I go into the negative numbers. If I go up, I'm going into the positive numbers. Put those two together and I get this Cartesian plane. It's like a two-dimensional grid, I guess, that lays over my whiteboard here. The horizontal line, our normal number line, we call the x-axis. Okay, so that's called an axis. We call that one the x. So all those numbers represent our x values, and y values go up and down on our y-axis. They go positive up, negative down. The point in the middle, right, is zeros both ways. We'll come and talk about that one in a minute. You'll see that it splits the two-dimensional plane, or this flat surface, into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay, one of the reasons this is so important is because now I can locate any point on this surface by giving it 2 numbers, and we call those coordinates. Okay, so let's take, for example, let's say I want to locate that point right there. Okay, I can give that a coordinate which identifies where it is, and here is the coordinate, and then we'll show you how we got it. That is at the point 4, 3. So coordinates on the Cartesian plane are made up of 2 numbers. The first number, the 4 in this case, and they're written in brackets, the first number represents the value along the x-axis. So if I come along, if I drop a line down here, you'll see it's in line with 4. So in other words, if I go across 4, that's where I get my first number from. And then, if I was to go up 1, 2, 3 places, I'd get to my y value. So this is my x value, and the second number is my y value. Okay, so to that point, to locate that, I go across 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go up 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we always do them in that order. We always put the x value first and then the y value. So let's say if I wanted to ask you to find the coordinate, let's go with -2, 1. If I asked you to find that coordinate. Okay, here's the process. This is my x value, so it's going to be somewhere along here. I need to find where -2 is, and I know that it's there. Okay, so starting at that point now, I'm going to go up to +1. Okay, so I go across to -2, up 1, and that there is the coordinate -2, 1. Okay, I come across to -2, up to 1. Okay, this is my x value, and this is my y value. A nice way to remember this is you kind of go across the hall before you go up or down the stairs. Right? Across the hall before you go up or downstairs. So you always do it in that order. What about this point here? What would that coordinate right there be? All right, well, let's have a look. Remember, I go across the hall first before I go up or down the stairs. So I'm going to come across and find where that lines up with. In this case, it is -3. And then I come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to -5. So that coordinate is at -3, -5. I write it in brackets. I put a comma between the 2 numbers to indicate that it's a coordinate. Okay, let's do one more. Let's go with find the coordinate to -4. Well, what if we wanted to find that coordinate? All right, I go across till I get to the 2 first of all, so that's here, and then I'm going -4, so I'm going to be going down this direction 4 places until I get to that point right there. Okay, and I can see that lines up with -2, and negative 4. You'll notice that in the first quadrant, both values are positive. In the second quadrant, the x values are negative, but the y's are positive, because I've got negative x's but positive y's. In quadrant 3, both of them are negative. I've got negative x values and negative y values. But in quadrant 4, I have positive x values and negative y values everywhere in that quadrant. That's your quick introduction to finding coordinates on the Cartesian plane. Well, I nearly forgot to tell you the name, or this special point in the middle. Okay, so the coordinate right there, well, we know that's the coordinate 0, 0. It goes 0 in the x direction, it goes 0 up or down. We give it a special name. We call it the origin. Okay, so that point right in the middle where the two axes, now axes is just the plural word for axis, so axes, where they axes meet, that's called the origin.